audience. I don't see too many people itching to get over seats. You do? I just wanted to, sorry, one thing I wanted to throw to John in case it's...
So we have the Interactive Digital Media Tax Credit, which is a tax credit for companies who are developing their own interactive digital media products and exploiting those products. They can get a 40% tax credit against eligible expenditures. And for companies who are creating these types of products under a fee-for-service basis for another company, they can get a 35% tax credit. But there's also something known as the Intellectual Property Development Fund. And that's not a tax credit, although in many ways it looks like it, but it's actually a non-juried grant. So when companies are developing screen-based content, and this is content for any screen, big or small, television, movie theater, console, your BlackBerry, if you're developing content for any type of screen, we will give you a 30% rebate on your eligible development expenditures up to a cap of $150,000 under the Intellectual Property Development Fund.
One thing I'm going to throw to John in case it sets up another question was you did take
This is an exciting enhancement to the Interactive Digital Media Tax Credit, which up until now has been a tax credit where companies would only be eligible to apply and get paid out on the tax credit after they completed and finished a product. And for instance, something like a console game could potentially take 3 to 4 years to make. So they're looking at only getting their tax credit paid out at the end of that period. In the March 2009 budget, the government proposed an enhancement which is passed into law in December that would basically say for companies that were specialized digital game corporations, meaning either 80% of their employees' salary and wages were related directly to developing games, or 90% of the company's revenues was directly related to developing games. If they can meet either of those criteria and they've incurred $1 million in eligible labor costs to create games in a given year, then they'll actually be able to file for a tax credit at the end of their fiscal year, even though they might only be in, let's say, year one of what could ultimately be 3 or 4 years to develop a console game. So that's a really important enhancement that's only recently passed into law in December, and we're also still waiting for some regulations in order to fully realize that new change, but definitely something that has been something that interactive digital media stakeholders have been asking for, and we're excited about that development.